Hey, hey, hey. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. Yes, I am back with you guys. Welcome. If you're coming from Africa, Asia, Antarctica, Oceanic, North America, South America, wherever you're coming from, Europe, welcome, welcome, welcome. And of course, tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about accessing track and field coverage. So, tonight, is all about the fans. I have my neighbor from Trinidad and Tobago with me in the building. Also, we have Anthony Foster from Track Alert, who is also here. But guys, don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Share, like, and subscribe. Please to send the link to your family, your friends, everyone, because tonight we're going to be chatting a little bit, not for long, but we have something on our mind and we want to share it with you guys. So stay right there. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Jamaica's track and field legacy is unmatched. It is a story of triumph, resilience, and extraordinary talent. But do you know the stories behind the athletes who brought us glory? Hi, I'm HP, founder of HP Chat Track. My mission is simple: to celebrate the rich legacy of Jamaica track and field and shine a light on the incredible people who make it happen. Winning that race was a dream come true, but the journey wasn't easy. It's not just about medals, it's about inspiring the next generation. Jamaica track and field isn't just a sport, it's our pride, our culture, our heart. Every week I sit down with athletes, coaches, and fans to bring you stories of dedication, passion, and legacy. Plus, we've got exciting news and exclusive insights into the world of track and field. Make your Thursday night be at HP's place. Come hang out with us at HP Chat Track Studio.
HP's place. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome. Anthony Foster, welcome.
Good evening. Good
Dennis
evening.
Allen. Dennis, how are you? Welcome, my neighbor
Good.
from Trinidad and
Greetings from the 868,
Indeed. Greetings from the 876 on this side. Welcome each and everyone, wherever you're coming from, wherever you're watching from. Welcome, and hang out with us. And, you can share your comments, your thoughts, and how you feel about this topic that we're going to be talking about a little bit. Gentlemen, why is it so hard for us to access track and field coverage? Why?
Do you want to go first?
Why?
Why?
When you say to access, you mean uh,
Coverage to
to
watch, to
to watch
watch.
it, to watch it, and
Yes, yes.
to
It
pay to watch it for free.
yes,
Why
it
is
is
it
too
so hard?
challenging.
It
Yes.
it it it, it may be challenging because it's very expensive. Um, and it's very expensive to show any event, any whether it's sports or just about anything. I remember I'm involved in live streaming, and during COVID, a lot of people were streaming funerals, and you will find where persons will spend the big bucks to keep the night and all of those stuff, to buy a lot of liquor and all of them something there. But when you tell them how much you're gonna charge or how much it costs to do a live stream, people don't want to pay. And it's the same thing with track and field. People, I find where organizers, they too want to see their product on TV. They want to see their product being streamed. But there's very little money in track and field. You are not going to have them pay you as a streaming provider to carry these events. Like, as I said, I'm a streaming provider, and they're not going to pay you. They're going to tell you that they don't get enough money or they don't have money to do it. But then at the end of the day, they want you to come. It's hard for you to go because as a small streaming provider, it costs. I mean, when I look at it, HP, to do something decent, to do something watchable, you, as small as it might be, to do a two camera stream, you need at least 7 people. And that is 7 people you're going to have to pay maybe a minimum of 100 US dollars per day. And if you're doing that and you're not making anything from it, because the other thing, I stream on YouTube. And if you're streaming an event that many people out there, many of the organizers believe you make a bag of money from it, and you're not giving them anything. And one music may play, Dennis, and pick up in your stream. And if you're going to make $100 or $50 from
Mm,
that stream based on YouTube ad, you lose everything. So it is
mm,
expensive. Organizers say they don't have the money to pay for it. And that to me is one of the main reasons why, the track and field is not that accessible for us to watch. We just had on the weekend, this past weekend, I think it was the Bahamas trials. And I'm sticking in
There
the
were lots
Caribbean. I
of
think,
trials going
yeah,
on, a lot of
Trin-
them. Hmm.
Trinidad and Tobago had their trials too. And there are other countries, and again, I'm just trying to stick with the Caribbean. And I didn't, to be honest, I didn't search to see if it was there. But I didn't hear it. I didn't hear anybody say it. I didn't see it in my face to say the Bahamas trials will be live or the Trinidad and Tobago trials will be live here. So again, should I ask a question? Is it that it's not being streamed? Is it not? Is it that it's not out there, or is it a case where it's being streamed but it's not being marketed? It's not being put in your face for you to see it. I don't know. Dennis, is in Trinidad and Tobago, and let me say, Dennis, Trinidad and Tobago, because
You better, you better.
I know a certain CC maybe start texting me soon if I leave off that last T. So I better make sure I say Trinidad and Tobago.
yeah, enough respect to Tobago. And as you spoke about streaming, I want to make a big shout out. I know he's online. That's Kerry. Kerry Porter. He's Tobago Sports Live. He's a streaming provider over there in Tobago. This weekend in Trinidad, we had our Open Champs, right? What you all will call trials, we call Open Champs. And that was streamed by Ian Wason. He's a journalist here, and he runs a company called Wave Sport, Wason or Audiovisual Enterprise or Entertainment. I'm not sure, but Wave Sport. And he streamed. He did a two camera, if I'm not mistaken, a two camera live stream. I hope he got paid. I didn't really discuss it. I didn't really get a chance to really dig into it. But even if he didn't or did, I would not discuss it. But what I can talk about is when I stream. When I stream, and our services are what people would call pricey because we have a baseline that we have to ensure. One, we have to know that we're going to stream in advance, so we'll have graphics, we'll have the whole package ready. We have to have live commentary. We have to have informed live commentary. And we have to have multiple cameras. This is not like, so for instance, a four camera streaming, live stream, 1080p. It's very important that people understand that a stream with 360 might look okay on your phone, but at 1080p, you could put it on your TV and it
Mm-hmm.
would not fall apart. A 1080p with four cameras, the minimum we could do that is maybe 5,000 US. That's the minimum, the way we would want to do it. Can we do it cheaper? Yes, but it will look cheap. The ancient Chinese wisdom is you could either have it good, you could either have it cheap, or you could have it fast. Pick two. Can't have all three at the same time. So if you look at that cost paradigm, where are the ads going to come to cover it? Because most national sports organizations, like the entry is here, J3 is there, they don't have the cash because they're not money making enterprise. They're not for profit enterprise. So if the government gives entries or J3s $1 million US, it is entirely absorbed by the process and by the athletes and by foreign trips abroad, etc. There is no money left back for investment. There isn't any money. It's very little of it will be left back for, maybe some cash, like resources for in case there's a um like a rainy day kind of thing. So it's entirely different from if you run in sport as a business enterprise. The NBA, the way they operate, they own that franchise. They own the athlete name, image, likeness. They own everything. They control everything. Like this jersey, if I go courtside with this jersey, I'll have to take it off because I can't show up with that. There are certain things that people don't understand about the sport as business reality and how it affects the accessibility. And then when everything is done properly and done right, what happens? People like me go on some bootleg streaming site and I'm just going to bypass every single firewall, every single something. And if I can't find it myself, I have friends who are all sports addicts and they are going to find this streaming link. And if not, what they're going to do? Hey, you know what? Put it on a private channel here, look the link. And they will just stream it from OBS from their phone or from their laptop or whatever, just so we can see what it is
Hmm.
because that's the ecosystem now. Who's
And
making money when that happens?
I'm happy that you say that, because as it is right now, I think there's a hide and seek with track and field fans and track and field itself accessing to watch, because I was one of those people who wanted to watch some of the championships around the world over the weekend, and it was the hardest thing to find a stream to watch. And we are now at the mercy of paywalls. We're now at the mercy of paywalls. And you mentioned the NBA or the NFL. They have a central hub where, as you said, they control everything. Let us look at the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, the NFL is played, let's say, only by America. I can't think of any other country that play that sport
No.
the way it is played in America. Yet, when the Super Bowl is on, wherever you are in the world, you can watch for free most times. In Jamaica, we watch for free. So people will say it's not free because somebody's paying for it. I totally agree. But what they have done is that they have put fans, they are fans friendly. So they ensure that, okay, everybody cannot come into America to watch wherever they're having the game. So what they have done, they ensure that they get sponsors on board to pay for fans outside to increase their fan base and to get people around the world to watch. The NFL can boast the millions of viewers that they get during the Super Bowl, and it is only one country that is playing that sport. Now, my question is, why is track and field so poor?
Track and field is poor, because there's no
There
money
is
in it.
money. There is money, but the powers that be is not going out there and look for the money. The NFL and the NBA didn't just get their money, the money that they have. What they
One of
have
the
done is to create a system.
one of the thing I don't think we market track and field good across the Caribbean. I don't think
There
we
you go.
market
Not
track
just the
and field good
Caribbean.
in Jamaica.
Not just the Caribbean and
And
Jamaica.
yeah, and we in Jamaica, I've heard this argument over and over again, and the argument is that we are the sprint capital, we are the best in the world, we are this, we are that. Yes, we may be the best because of what our athletes are doing on the track, but are we the best administratively? Are we the best? Getting the necessary sponsorship or the money or getting things um getting things for track and field. And let me say this. um Ryan Krauser, he's still competing. Olympic champion, world champion, record holder, this, that. And I saw he put on a meet the other day, earlier this year, maybe the day before the Drake's relay. And it was a shot put meet. And I think if my memory serves me correct, it was probably in a park or on the street or somewhere. And but it was a different style. It was a different style where I think if you don't get over a certain, and persons can correct me if I'm wrong, if you don't get over a certain mark, you don't advance to the next round. You know, and it was just something new.
And
What
It
have
was a
different.
we
kind of like
done?
an elimination. Every throw
Yes.
was an eliminate. Yeah.
What have we done for track and field in Jamaica to take track and field to the people? What have we done? What have we done new? All we hear, we have a development meet, and it's the same old what we have from the devil was a boy. We have the trials at the national stadium. We have the all comers meet at the national stadium or wherever up at Jamaica College or over GC Foster College. And every time we're having a track and field meet, that's what we have. We don't hear anybody put on something. How about the J trays put on a high jump in the middle of half a tree? And I've said it before, maybe on your
That
program
would
there.
be fun.
How about one Sunday evening, the J trays put on a shot put competition in Emancipation Park? How about taking um the long jump to on the beach where they have this beach in the middle of Montego Bay? I don't even remember the name of the beach. Why don't we have these kind of things where we change it up a bit? Take away this thing about yeah, it may championship qualifier or Olympic qualifier. Take away that. Take track and field to the people. Take it to the streets. Take it to the parks. Get people. And it means that you may only have, you go Montego Bay and they have a nice little park beside Pier 1 where you have the beach. And you go
Hmm.
there. You only need to invite some shot putters maybe and some high jumpers. So you may be in the shot put and the high jump. Because yes, me understand you can't do the discus anywhere. You can't do the javelin anywhere. You understand? We can do the pole vault. Teach our people to pole vault. Because who we have as pole vaulters? We don't have no pole vaulters are gonna wear. How about taking those people out? Get them, for them build them confidence and stuff like that. You know, I'm not seeing where we are doing things to draw more people. When you go to the stadium, go watch track and field, at champs and these places, are the same set of people you see every year.
Yes, no new fans. Yeah.
You understand? You have some track and field people like my good friend Jean Sutherland, who go everywhere across the world, go watch track and field. And sometimes you can't get a champs ticket for buy. Them the kind of people not supposed to worry if them go get a champs ticket for buy, or if them go get a ticket for go here or a ticket for go there. So they're over there, Jean, they everywhere over the world. I watch track and field in our Jamaican colors. You will
We,
see her
we
up on TV. And Jean sometimes struggle to get one champs ticket for buy.
we're chasing away the fans from the sport, because I can tell you that I talk to a lot of track and field people. A matter of fact, that's what we talk about every day, morning, noon, and night. And some fans, and these are diehard fans now, Dennis, who reach a point where they say to me, HP, we can't bother with track and field anymore. I have to be stressing out myself to watch something. I understand that we cannot centralize it like NBA and the NFL, because those are played in a tight space, as in one country. But we track and field need to do something to better bring coverage to fans all around the world.
One I
Now,
think
now the World Championship is coming up in a few weeks' time. How many people who are not track and field fans know that a championship is coming up in September?
one of the thing
Hold
in
on. Before you even
HB,
go to Worlds, Nakak.
yeah.
Who's gonna watch Nakak?
Dennis, I've said this over and over, and
Who's gonna watch Nakak?
we talk about the track and field and we talk about the support. Me
Hmm.
still believe, say, I still do believe that there are too many events in track and field. And this is why, again, one, it's not attractive.
Hmm.
Two, too many events. So if you have if you have $5 million to spend on prize money, let's say you
Mhm.
have 100 million to spend on prize money at the World Championship. You have how many events you have in track and field? About 20. And if you multiply 20 male and 20 female events, that's 40 events. And if you multiply that 40 events by 8 people who go and make each finals, think about how much money you the money break down small,
How,
right?
what would be your solution then? Okay, you're
I've
saying
said
track and
it.
field have too
I've
many events. What is the solution? How do you decide which events to take away from the sport? What do you
it,
do with those people who are interested in those events? How do we?
I've I've said it, I've said it, and some a lot of people not going to agree with me, but I've said it. There are some events that you can dash away, and some of them may have good friends involved in them.
No, we can't.
And
We can't just come on, fast, fast.
and
No,
You know, the funny thing is,
we are going to have the same problem.
I've heard him said this
you
before,
have said it
right?
before.
I've heard you say this before. Now,
I
No,
can't
Dennis,
agree.
we are going to still, Dennis, struggle with getting money in track and field. No,
No, we don't have to struggle. Marketing. Let me tell you something. If you have a product and you're not marketing that product, any product you see out there that is doing well is marketing. First, let us
HP,
first
HP,
let hold on.
HP.
Let us go back to Jamaica.
Hold on, HP. The most lucrative track meet in the world now don't have every event. And I'm not even talking about Grand Slam. May I put Grand Slam aside because there probably be no more Grand Slam. But the
yeah.
most lucrative track and field meet you have in the world now is the Atlas meet that them have in New York. And they don't have all the events. You understand? And them only have 6 people per
And
per
that's
per, per thing
fine.
there.
And that's fine.
Okay.
So
Let
we
me ask you a question before you go along, right,
go ahead.
HP?
Go ahead,
You
Dennis.
talk about marketing, right? And in the context of business, marketing is an investment in future earnings, right? Marketing is a communication of your brand ideals, right? What is the product in track and field? What is the product? You can't compare a Usain Bolt to a Krauser. You can't compare a Shellyan to a Tara. You can't. Why? Because the perception of the value of a sprint 100-meter medal versus a pole vault medal here in the Caribbean, people don't even know what that is, right? We've had Caribbean champions in just about every sport and discipline under the umbrella of track and field, right? Uh, Kishon and Anderson Peters, they broke the final barrier with winning the javelin. I think we still haven't had a Caribbean pole vault world or Olympic champion. So we have a few things that we could still do, right? People understand what a marathon is. People understand what a 5K is. People may not understand what race walking is, but they could figure it out after a couple of minutes of watching. Maybe they might like it, maybe they might be intrigued, but I can tell you there's no race walking here in Trinidad. We only have it at primary school national championships and secondary schools national championships. And it's just that's just the reality.
And then Dennis, as I said, again,
But
I'm,
I
I'm
want to throw it back to HP just now for us. What is the product? But go ahead.
Dennis, again, I'm getting back to there. When you go to champs a year time, maybe that 7 out of 10 people, 7 out of 10 people who go to champs cannot tell you who win the 2,000 meter steeplechase. They
Same
can't.
thing with cricket though.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 people cannot tell you who win the deck or the hep.
Whose fault is that?
It is, well, I don't think
It
it's nobody's
is
fault because
no, it
HP
is. It has to
two.
be somebody's fault. If you get up every day and you're only promoting X over Y, all right, in math, which is more popular, X or Y?
Look here.
Look at something though.
X
But
X is
he
more popular because
Look
X
here.
is what you
But
promote.
but
Whatever you
I'm just
promote
saying.
more,
I'm
that
just
is
saying.
what is going to take. It is going to be the front runner.
And
Rastaman
HB
don't deal with no
again.
kind of X,
When
right?
you come
But
down,
but
when you
hear
come
it out,
down,
hear it out. Here, hold on,
hold
hold on.
on, Dennis, hold on, Dennis.
All
See
right, you
my
go ahead. You
virgin,
go ahead.
Hold on. Let's read a comment.
see my virgin not take me out. Well, him not take me out. Him
Let's
basically
read.
agree with me.
Hold on.
JW.
Let's read a comment. Welcome everyone. This discussion, I tell you, track fans, we need more. We need to see more. We need to be able to use our smartphone or our smart TV and access track and field anywhere in the world. But let's read some comment. First of all, let us welcome Daniel England. Daniel is saying, "Good evening, peeps. Happy Emancipation Day, Jamaica and Trinidad," he said. Welcome, Ethelyn Tate, Olympian, Jamaican Olympian Ethelyn Tate is in the building. JW, my good friend and also a good friend of Foss. He's saying, Foster, it's not possible to air all track and field events over live broadcast because of the nature of the broadcast window and also the format of the competition. No, I understand that. But what I'm saying, just like how we are able to have a sprint fest and we're able to promote sprinting, let us have other events that will equally promote the field events, the middle and the long distance event. But if every time there is a track meet and it goes from the sprints to the 400 meters, what do you think fans are going to gravitate towards?
What do you think
What we're
happened
promoting?
at Champs every year at Champs? Every single year at Champs. When certain event are run, Dennis, at them time there, the people go take a pee break.
Because we don't market it, we don't create any
No,
hype around it.
them
Shout
not
out to all the
interested.
1500-meter runners.
Yeah, them not interested in it. Dennis,
Because we don't
Dennis,
create any hype.
I'm
There's
not
no
throwing
hype
away.
around it.
Dennis, I'm
Okay,
not
but
throwing
just
away
now,
the 1500. I'm just
I'm not,
replacing the
I'm not, I'm not.
15.
I love it. I love it.
I'm replacing the 15 with a 1 mile though.
I,
One
I
mile.
thought about it too
Yeah.
because we don't run that down here. We don't run
Yeah.
that in the Caribbean,
But if
but
you
I think it's
ask
an
me,
interesting race.
Dennis, may I dash ready 200. A million at one time. Take it up,
I
take
think
Fast,
it,
I
take
think a
it up,
fast,
lot of
take it up.
athletes will agree with you.
fast. I'm
Yeah.
going to delete you right now.
Yeah.
Just now, hold on.
But
HB, hold on. The man just tell you that the promoters don't want to pay him for 2 camera live stream, 2 cameras. They don't want to pay me for a 4 camera live stream either. You want them to pay for production for video interview, narrative video, which is costing probably 10 times more per minute than live stream. Because now you have to edit, you have to think about lighting, you have to do all of that, blah blah blah. When you're streaming live, those those on-set realities, you just deal with them in a different way. When you're producing narrative television, you you are you are constrained by the amount of budget you have, the kind of presentation that you can do, and that's an editor, and you're paying for those skills. So if you have, like we were just enumerating the amount of athletes in a major meet, if you're talking about, in the Caribbean we're doing maybe 30 events, male and female. So you're talking about 30 by 2, 60 by 3. Those are your podium athletes. If you did a 1 minute interview with each one of those, who watches? You don't have time to produce the rest of the live stream,
mm-hmm,
right? If you, before that, you're talking about contenders, you're talking about your finalists. That's 8 people,
mm-hmm. That's the
right?
same thing I'm
If
talking
you
about.
do 8 people for 30 events, male and female, each one at $1,000, Trinidad and Tobago. Let's use our 100 US, which is a very low cost interview type video. You ain't really looking at too much production value here. Work the math. 60 by 8 by 100 US each.
Hmm.
Who's got the budget to do that?
It's nowhere. That's the
First, you
same
getting
thing
that
I'm
money.
talking.
I ain't
That is
getting that money.
that's the same thing I'm talking about. And the other thing I want to make, the other point I want to make, HP. Every single 200-meter runner run the 100. They started out winning and do. Usain Bolt would have not been the person he is today if he didn't run the 100. He would not. Kenny, Kung Fu Kenny is known to be a 200 man. But guess what happened? Kung Fu Kenny now get no respect running and winning the 200. He have to move down to the 100. Noah
But look
Lively.
at Sid.
Noah.
Look at Sid.
Yeah.
Multiple world record holder Sydney McLaughlin Levert.
In the
She had to
cheapest
go
event,
down, down, down for people to
in
say,
the
"Oh, that's who it
cheapest
is."
in
Okay.
the cheapest event in the 400-meter hurdles, Million Walker was on this program and she can tell you that. The cheapest event. You understand? Million Walker win Olympic gold, win world championship gold, was this close to breaking the world record, and she not rich from it. You understand what I'm saying? So Noah Lyles is a genuine 200 meter, 200. And Noah have to go run the 100 to start, get the hype and get the recognition where him need. Kung Fu Kenny, the same thing. He's the 100 meter at the US trials. So I'm saying to you, remember, Olympics and Diamond League, they plan for dash with the 200 long time,
We had to
200,
change Kung Fu Can
look
we
here,
name to
look here.
Badman Fu.
And
Badman Fu now.
If you ask,
get to
We're going to
Kenny.
have to change his name to Badman Fu.
But guys,
Because
the point that I
yeah,
am
so
the
I'm
points that
just
I'm the
saying,
point that I'm trying to make is
HP,
that if you have a product, if you have 10 products and you only market one or two or three, those are the products that are going to sell. So we need to
HP,
market the
every
sport as
time,
a whole.
HP, when I used to go to Gibson Relay press conference, them used to have a launch with the sponsors. Every year they used to have it. And I can tell you where the sponsors, because all the sponsors have a pick. Them have to pick the event where them have a
Right.
sponsor. So all the sponsors name going on one hat,
mm,
Dennis, and then pick. And I can tell you, Dennis, no want the 4 by nobody no want the class, the high jump, nobody no want the long jump. You know which events they want?
right.
They want the boys class 1 4x1. They want the boys class 2 4x1. They want the 4x4. They want the girls class 1 4x1. You understand? These are the events. So you have
Yeah.
events that the sponsor will not spend their money on. And we have to understand
But you
that.
know what? Look at something too, right? So technically, all right. So everybody can see the screen here. We watching the screen here, right? If you have a two-camera shoot on and this is normally what you would see in Caribbean track and field, even at the highest levels, right? If you have a two-camera shoot
Mm-hmm.
and the sprints are going on, and you have to do a cutaway to a jump, that jump on the screen takes up about maybe 30% of the screen real estate. So
Mm-hmm.
imagine me, right? This is the HP chat track show. So obviously HP is taking full stage, right? But
Mm-hmm.
imagine you trying to make me a star with 30% of the screen,
Mm-hmm.
right? You barely know who is this guy, right? And it's like this. Because all of
Mm-hmm.
this is you're popping in, you're popping out, you're popping in, race. Okay, let's pop in and let's run back some of these guys. And who have your money for replays? I don't get money for replays, so I don't ever run replays. But
Exactly.
that's an extra
Exactly.
set of money because you have to have a replay operator,
Mm-hmm.
right? So even if you're saying, all right, I'm going and treat these throws and these jumps with the kind of justice and respect that they deserve,
Yes.
that is money and that coming out of my pocket
Mm-hmm.
because you ain't have no money to pay for that. That's
And
that's
then
just the reality.
and
Go
then
ahead, go
again,
ahead.
Dennis, my good friend JW is online, and JW know as much as I do that when you're doing live stream, there's a certain time of the day when you have more views, and the views only
Yeah,
come
yeah.
when you have certain events. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying 10 events, 10 male event and 10 female event is not too much for track and field. Me think that is a good number for track and field
Yeah, but that's
because
not
you
gonna
almost.
be
I don't have a problem with the 10,000. I used to run 10,000, but me believe 10,000 for run on
okay.
the road. I believe
Right.
10,000 for run on the road. Me not have a
I'm going
problem
to throw something. I'm going to throw a
with the one
question. I'm going to
create.
throw something out there now. Let us go to mainstream media. I I am a track and field fanatic. I don't just watch it when I don't have anything to do. I want to watch the preliminary rounds. I want to watch the heats. I want to watch the semi-final. I want to see the final. I want to see the replay. Why is it that networks continue to monopolize track and field by accessing broadcasting rights, exclusive rights, and then cut out a big
Airtime.
chunk of the meat and show you what they think you want to know. I
Airtime. The
I have
It's
airtime.
easy.
I
It's
have a
easy.
problem
It's
with
easy,
that.
HP. It's easy because that what they're showing is where the people go and
So you
spend the
see
money.
that track and
People
field
go advertise.
track and
People go
field is
advertise when the
not
100-meter
track
run.
and field is not fan friendly. And I'm going to read something to you, gentlemen. Hold on. I did a little research because and this was what I did. My keywords were, give me examples of the sports that care about fans. And I want you to tell me which three sports came up first. Tell me, gentlemen, which three sports came up first?
UEFA soccer.
Um,
Well, FIFA soccer, yeah, yeah, we can take that, yeah.
Maybe
and
gymnastics.
No,
No. Okay.
it was FIFA, which is
Mm.
football, our football, the NBA, and the NFL. Let me read something for you. It says the most successful sports league like the NFL, NBA, and FIFA understands that they understand one simple truth, and that is fans are the foundation. They further went on to say these leagues invest millions in technology, streaming platforms, mobile access, in game experience, and interactive content. Why? Because keeping fans engaged, informed, and it includes building deep loyalty, and that loyalty doesn't just fill the stadium, it fuels TV ratings, sponsorship, merchandise sales, and generation support. It also go on to say when fans feel like they're part of the game, they stick around, win, lose, or draw. They share highlights, they buy the jerseys, they bring the next generation into the sport. That's how building a thriving, self-sustaining ecosystem. No, gentlemen, track and field is not doing anything close to that. I don't think track and field think about their fans when they're doing anything. It's like if we come, we come. If we don't come, it's okay.
It comes down to the money, HP. It once again comes back down to the money.
So why are we
Do
not
do some
out there
research. Just a
looking for
second.
why are we not out there looking for the money like
It's
the
not about looking
NFL?
for the money. It's about this, right? Look, do some research on how much debt the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball has, right? Then you look at the owners. The owners are, generally speaking, billionaires, right? The lowest point of entry in American mainstream sport right now is MLS, right? Major League Soccer, and there's now the cricket league, right? A franchise for that, you're talking about maybe a quarter billion dollars is the lowest point of entry, right? So you're talking about, for you to even buy a franchise, for you to even get your name on the board right there, you have to put up several hundred millions of dollars to get your name into that, right? What they do are partnerships between the municipalities, meaning the city, as well as the state. So the city will come in and say, hey, we're going to build you a new venue. We will lease you the land. We will line up your capital, your funding. You match this and you match that. And then they will go to a bank and get money for future earnings on merchandise and seats. And that would be a 5-year loan. So if you say, hey, I have a 20,000 seat stadium, right? And I have a mid tier franchise in a top league, any one of those leagues that we just called there. you're going to get 20, 30,000 people every single match. When it's a home game, you get that gate revenue. When it's a home game, you have all of the side advertising. Some of those are permanent, some of them are spot, so you can sell ads. These are things nothing that I've spoken about just now is accessible to any promoter here in the Caribbean. And then on the backstop, if you are a loss-making enterprise in the USA, the way their taxes are set up, you can shelter profits from your profit-making enterprise with your loss making enterprise. So these billionaires will keep loss making enterprises on the books just so they can shelter the money from their real day jobs, the tech enterprise, the energy enterprise, all of those things that are making cash cows, making that dollar day in, day out. So for them, sport is a very expensive hobby, but one they can afford. For us here in the Caribbean, we don't have that amount of billionaires, first of all. We maybe have in total in the Caribbean, not counting the corrupt politicians, we're talking about maybe 20, 30 billionaires, people with 1 billion US dollars. That's one city in the States. That's one NFL city. Some of those NBA teams have 20 billionaire owners on their corporate registration, their company registration. So we're talking about funding paradigms that do not exist here in the Caribbean. I can't say, hey, you know what? I'm going to sell some Rapid 6H merch. I go to the bank and I say, hey, you know what? I'm going to sell 20,000 shirts. You know what they'll say? Slow clap the rasta. Good luck, brother. What do you want from me? You want money from me? Okay, 10%. All right. You think I could go to the Mayor Port of Spain? Big shout out to Chinua Allen, big brethren of mine too. Enough respect. Hey, Chinua, do you think the city of Port of Spain could back my enterprise by guaranteeing this loan? He'll be like, Tay, I know you're a Rasta, but I know you don't smoke. Did you start smoking? What's your situation? So you're not going to get that. Look at something. We have, based on our estimates, we have about 3 billion Trinidad and Tobago dollars worth of sport enterprise infrastructure, recreational grounds. Those are owned by the municipalities that they exist in, right? So that like local government owns those, right? Then you have state-run enterprise, which is the big stadia. Those are run by the ministry through the Ministry of Sports Operations Arm, which is called Sports Company of Trinidad and Tobago, or Sport, right? When you get money for those venues, they go into the consolidated fund, which is run by the Ministry of Finance. So even if you have the most successful sports as enterprise solution, you still have to go and hand that money. Here you go, sir. Hand it to the Minister of Finance, and he will tell you what he want to do with that money. Bottom line is this: until we're prepared to change, major change. And for instance, why can't we have a track league in the Caribbean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, Guyana, Bahamas, Cuba. Cuba will need some loving up because they don't really have a top line modern facility with a proper synthetic track, but they have rabid sports fans, right? So if we say we have 8 of the top um, territories by, let's call it, by GDP, and we say, hey, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, Grenada,
Bahamas.
Bahamas, Cuba, Haiti, big population, um, and we add in the French Caribbean, the French Antilles, right? We say, all right, Martinique, you come on board, and then we put in Puerto Rico. Although we ain't gonna get no visa, that's all right, no problem. We figure out a way around that, right? And then we throw in a Miami for that, right? Do 2 years, guess who's gonna come in? Panama is gonna say, hola,
I want
can
to
we
be
join?
part of the.
Right? And then Belize is gonna say, hola, can we join? Yeah, we speak Trinidad, we speak English too. Not different from you guys, but and then very soon in 5 years we have 12 Caribbean cities in a track league. But if every weekend all we want to see is Usain Bolt record break, or Shelly Ann Fraser, or Elaine, or Sharika threatening Flojo's record. Let's use quotes for that, right? Let, every week we going around that. That's not how track goes, right?
And that's exactly what I'm trying to say. We have to now go back to the drawing board, go to the boardroom, and decide what we are going to do, because track and field is losing its fans.
It's dying, if
And
not dead
it's,
already.
there you go. When you look,
What's your word? Duppy? I think it's a Duppy. Duppy walking.
Look here.
when you look at the different championships and look at the stadiums, I'm like, wow, track and field, the fans are not impressed. I was going to say we, but the powers that be, they're not giving us track fans a reason to come into the arena or even to watch on television.
Look
There's
here.
hype around the sport. There's nothing. It's I'm
More
not
Look here.
money.
feeling it. Sorry, I'm
HP,
not feeling it.
HP, as I said it over and over, money. There's no money in track and field.
Money is
And if
out there, but we have to go and find
but
what. How do you? All right, let me ask you.
track and field is not the kind of sport that people are going to spend the big bucks.
All
And
the
when you
other
look at
Boss,
sports,
and
that's all HP.
all the
One
other
second, one
sports
second. Let
that
me ask
have
you one question.
money,
One second.
all the
Hold
other
on, one
sports
second.
that have money, how did they get their money? You think they just wake up one day, they market their thing, they promote their thing, they put their product in our field. Let us go back to the Super Bowl again. When you look at the Super Bowl, when you look, you see
super
actresses, you
yeah,
see actors, all of these people involved. Why you think they're involved?
but
It's
a
not
Super Bowl,
necessarily because of what is being played on the pitch,
yeah, but
but how it was
look here.
marketed.
Yes, HP, but Super Bowl is not 8 hours a day.
I agree. How long is the Super Bowl? About 4 hours.
It's
Four
not
hours.
eight.
One Super Bowl
It
ad will
it's
pay for maybe about a year of track
yeah,
and
but
field in
yeah, so
in Jamaica.
yeah, so
One ad,
and I
1.5
understand
million
that.
US
Super
dollars.
Bowl is like for the whole thing from the anthem to presentation is about 6 hours.
And
Not
track
to
and field
mention the
is
pre-game show that we sit down and watch all day Sunday because of the energy and the vibe
yeah, but
building up
HP
to when the
champ
game
start
starts.
champ start 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night.
There's no real energy around. The only thing about champs is what we're going to see on the track. The
Yeah, but
Super Bowl have a lot more to it.
I'm just
That
saying to you
so
that
you package it.
track and field is just too long.
No, we're not packaging.
Okay, let me ask this, right?
It's
So
not being packaged
is
properly.
it RJR network that does the champs broadcast? Is
Yeah, yeah,
RJR?
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
RGR
group.
Cleaner
Yeah.
Network.
Right. So
Yeah.
they have invested in that, right? I've seen their cameras, I've seen their production. It is top notch. It is bar none, right? The commentary is top notch as well. Well informed, really up to standard. The on screen, not so much with the graphics, but I like it. Today it's not just graphics. You have to think of it like telemetry. You want infographics. You want graphics that telling me something that I can't see on the screen for myself. I can't figure it out myself. I have to see certain things. So you'd see that at World Championships, you'll see that at the Olympics. But once we get a taste for that, we go on clear on that. Huh? We want that's the new standard. So once you introduce those things, we down on the bottom of the ladder, we have to figure out how to reverse engineer that without putting in 3 or 4 or 5 more operators, buy another laptop, pay for some software that we can't afford, all of these
And uh, and
different things.
and Dennis, do you know that Champs is the only event in Jamaica, only track and field event that can pay for itself television coverage wise? There's no
Of
other,
course,
none.
of
Jamaica
course, because
trials,
we don't see
Gibson
ads and
relays,
anything
none
else.
of them don't make no money.
We
And
don't see ads.
I
Pick up a
kept saying this.
newspaper. All
Mhm,
right. So pick up a newspaper. Right. Look at how thin it is compared to 10 years ago.
exactly. And
Right.
I'm saying to you, what we hope for track and field is not going to happen in our lifetime. It's not
All
gonna
right.
happen.
So I
Pause.
guess
Pause. Just now.
we
Just
can
now,
dump
HP.
this
Hold on, HP.
argument then. We can move on then. Let's move on.
No,
HP.
we gonna
HP.
have
You
to
have your wallet
change
on
it.
you. How much money in your wallet right now? If
$2.
you took your wallet and took the entire savings, right? My little son Liam, he not going to college. All right, we taking that college money, right? And I'm going to blow it on one bet. Am I going to take a bet on my family's future? A live stream for football, a live stream for cricket, or a live stream for track and field? You tell me which one my child money, my child future going in. No. It's clearly going to be football.
It have to.
And we see football still struggling, right?
We
World Cup
we had
qualifiers coming up, right? The last World Cup qualifier Trinidad had was that we played here was against St. Kitts Nevis. Oh no, we played somebody after that. The one against St. Kitts Nevis. We had 29,000 people in the H.D. Crawford Stadium, each of them playing 150 Trinidad and Tobago dollars to come and watch. This time around, the tickets are 200 Trinidad and Tobago dollars, just a little under, let's call it 50 US for argument's sake, right? 30,000 by 50 US. That's gate receipts. We have some advertising boards. We don't have digital. That's a product I'm still trying to get off of the ground. Digital advertising boards. Because what it does is if you have 10 ad boards with vinyl banners, that's 10 spots. You can't sell anymore. But if you have 10 digital boards, every 30 seconds I could flip, flip, flip. I could
Mhm.
sell thousands of ads, right? And I can synchronize it. When a goal score, I could sell when a goal score, I put all of your ads on all of my screens. I could sell that at a premium because
Mhm.
they know for World Cup qualifiers, 30,000 people going to be watching it live, and maybe another 100,000 live in Trinidad will be tuning in, and maybe
Mhm.
another 100,000 up and down the Trinidad and Tobago diaspora. And then, of course, it will have people like yourself who, hey, what's that? Trinidad and Tobago. And because of the marketing that we would be able to do, because we get money to produce those ads, to produce those stories, to do those narrative types of social media content, people in Jamaica will be like, oh, okay, let me see what these people doing here. Hmm.
Look here,
And maybe I might be able to come up by you guys and sell some screens. You see
Dennis.
what I'm saying? Am
Dennis,
I going to
just
do that with track and field? That money's dead.
Dennis,
So
just before COVID.
what this means now is that there's no hope. I'm hearing that there's no hope for track
No,
and field.
no, it's not. No, it's not. There's no hope.
It is what it
What's
is.
that? Hold
And
on. It sounded like Foss is saying some kind of crazy thing, but
No,
there is
no,
hope. Where do you see
no.
it?
I'm not saying there's no hope, but
I am, but go ahead.
until we revamp this whole track and field thing,
How?
and, yeah,
What's the
and as I
first thing you
said,
would do though?
but I tell you, I'm dropping some
Drop
events,
in, all right. What's the second thing?
and that's why I'm saying again. The second thing, you need to take track and field. You need to take some events, take it to the parks, take it to the
I hear that.
streets,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Change the way we do the thing where um every day you go to one track meet. Yes, I'm gonna run 100 meter from down there so to down there so, right? Find some other way to do it. Make it be. I don't know. Make it be a way where, and I'm not saying this is what I would do, but come think about something outside of the box. Maybe you're going to have, if you have a 4 day meet, for argument's sake, you're going to have 3 rounds at 100. You run one the first hour, you run one the second hour, and you run one the last hour, the 4 hour. And the person, you find a way to work the times out, and the person with that, has the best overall time, or you give points for so the person who run like 990 would have a little bit more points than the person who run 998 and stuff like that, and you decide your winner from that. You see, just like the Grand Slam the other day, where Michael Johnson and him crew come in with this thing where you have to run 2 events, and it's the person with the most points over the 2 events. So if it's a 100-meter sprinter, you couple with the 200. We
that's
have
one of the
seen.
best thing that I've
Yeah, so
seen
I'm
happening in track and field in a
yeah,
long
so
time.
come
The Grand
outside of the box.
Slam.
Yeah,
The
come outside
Grand
of the box,
Slam
Dennis.
is the best thing that I've seen happening in track and field
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
long time.
Grand
And then I
Slam
tell you,
track
hold on,
was
Dennis.
4 meets. Go ahead.
I tell you this: if we were to have Grand Slam next year, or by the third year, you would find everybody, the Noah Lyles, what the 110-meter man name again, Holloway.
Holloway,
Holloway.
All of
everybody,
them
all the top people would want to be a
would
part of
want to
it.
be
Yeah.
a part, and
And
that
Grand
would
Slam
make it
track
more
had
exciting.
4 events and it cost 30 million US.
Hmm.
Right? On average, based on my estimates, it was about 10 million per event for the TV broadcast.
Hmm.
That's what I estimated. I don't know what
Yeah.
your estimate, but you ain't gonna disagree with me for that.
No,
About 10
no.
million, no less than seven, right? So let's say you talking about 28 million just for TV,
Hmm.
where the other 2 million going? Rental, looking good. All right. You ain't pay a single dollar in prize money. You ain't pay a single dollar in appearance fees, right? You ain't spend nothing on your marketing and promotion yet. So what we're saying is that just for 4 events of the stature of a Grand Slam track, you way past 30 million US dollars. So if we're talking about, let's say we get 8 cities here in the Caribbean in a track league, and we said, here's what, we're capping this 5 million US per event. That's
Hmm.
still 40 million US dollars. Who is
Hey.
going to come in and say we're putting $40 million into the hands of these 10 or so people who are going to promote the future of our sport? Enough
if
respect to Ephraim Sheraton, the entry is, who's giving Ephraim 30, 40 million US dollars?
we
Who is
want
the
the
president
sport
in
to
Jamaica?
grow,
You're giving, you have anybody giving him 40 million?
if we want track and field to get to a
Upon I'm a
certain
fan again,
level,
hot.
track and field is one of the few sport that is being played in more than 150 countries. Track and field and our football or soccer, if we want to call it, those are two of the sport that I will say is played in more than 150 or 190 odd countries in the world. Now my thing is that if we want to look better, we will have to spend some money, because golf is spending money, the NBA is spending money, FIFA is spending money, the NFL is spending money. So I think there's money out there for track and field to tap into. We just don't know how to tap into that money. And I want the Grand Slam to come back, because the Grand Slam has brought a different kind of energy where people wanted to come out, even if they don't understand what was happening. But the vibe and the energy, this is what fans want. Fans want to dress up and come out and hang out with them posse, hang out with their friends, with their children. They want to come out, and it's the first in a long time. And not even when I went to Eugene for the World Championship in 2022, the energy that I saw at the Grand Slam was anywhere close to the Eugene. You just come, watch the races, and you repeat the next day. But Grand Slam had the fans' interaction was a big part of it, and I think that is what a lot of people like about it. So I hope that Michael will come back next year, even if he cannot do four, do three. But I think the Grand Slam serves a purpose, and it might just pull out some people to now say, okay, let us have a middle long distance carnival. Let us have a field event carnival. And then now for Worlds and Olympics, everybody can come together. But everybody don't have to come together every time you have a track meet.
HP, HP. I was
It
just
is
looking.
doable.
I was just looking at this thing, and they said the top 10 richest sports in the world. Top 10, and track and field. Now they're not the top 10,
I am not surprised. I
you
know
know.
that.
And the number 10 is mixed martial arts,
I'm,
boxing. And again, I'm telling you, all of these events, American football, baseball, basketball, football or soccer, ice hockey, Formula One racing. You understand? Cricket.
marketing is why those sports are so rich. They market it, them
And
sell
guess what?
it
And
to the
even cricket.
people.
Look here,
They sell it.
even cricket. You know why cricket get more popular now? And why cricket make this top 10? Because they gone
IPL.
to 2020 and the
Yep.
IPL.
Marketing, you see
IPL.
what they did?
You never seen you no.
So
But
they revamp.
again, HP at the same thing me I talk about with track and
No, but
field. Why can I Why can't I go to a track and field meet and see every event that track and field has to offer in a 4 or 5 hours?
Because all right, the thing is that track and field is the only sport that have so many different disciplines. Track and field is the only sport, no other one. And as I just said before, what we need to do, and Dennis said it earlier, let us have a carnival or something. Let us shrink it down throughout the season. So if you like what the Grand Slam did, the Grand Slam is about 4 hours or something like that. So instead of having all the field events and all of those, you just had the track events. You had some track events. So within 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours, you want to get out of that arena, so you can have a middle long distance carnival or fest. When you go there, you see the 800, the 1500, 2000. After 2 hours it is over. Then when you have your major championship, now you can bring all of them together, like what we do for the Olympic Games. You have all the sports that are played around the world. But we cannot just sit down and allow track and field to die. Track and field have a place in this world, and we need to find a way to fix it.
Look here,
Money is out there, and we need to find a way to tap into that money and
money,
get some of that money to run the
money,
sport.
money is out there, but it's not going to go into track and field. And let me
It
tell you this.
will, it
And
will
let me
if
tell you
we
this.
package it the right way. Don't say
No,
that
we
fast.
can't package. We can't package 40 events. HP. Let me
No,
tell you
what
this.
I'm saying,
HP.
no, you're
Let
not
me
going
say
to put
this to
all
you.
of them together.
No, let me
You
say this to you. When you go to the Olympics, I am sure you'll always see a track and field athlete who want to go watch basketball, who want to go watch a football, who want to go watch a boxing, who want to go watch. Me never seen none of them other sports that go on. So they want to go watch track and field.
no,
Look at how
you
much fun Shelly Ann had watching
Yeah,
rugby.
rugby. I'm saying
Yeah,
to
come
yeah,
on.
You do have that, you do. You might not have it at a vast amount, but you do have athletes who watch other sport. But what I'm saying, we have to give them a reason to come. The same way their sport draw us, we need to find a way to draw them. We can't
and
just say it's not going to
and
happen.
I'm
We
saying and
have
I'm
to we
and
have
I'm
to do
saying
the work.
HP cricket. Cricket used to be we born and come and say test cricket, where you watch test cricket for
Agree?
5 days.
I agree.
And when them realize say, yo, this thing are dead with the 5 days,
What they
then
did.
they go down to 1 day, 50-50 over.
And after that, what they did.
And
They
how
gone
much
down to
So
20
resistance
you
twenty.
did they have for
evolve.
that?
You have to know.
So
You have
I'm
to
just
look.
saying they're cutting it. Right now you have players where because of the IPL or because of this and the fast game, a man can go on cricket and a cricket game, the game itself lasts what 3 hours. And if you want to put the playing of the national anthems in a hit and you want to put presentation at HP at 4 hours, you get same way. 4 hours and you done one cricket game and you're gone to your yard.
We
Me
don't
still
have
sit on a stadium and watch a
the
1500 meter
same way
and
that
a
cricket,
steeplechase a run.
the same way that cricket came up with T20 that is over within an hour or two, if you want to call it that, is the same way track and field can sit down and come together and say, let us do some league. Let us have some league, some short league. Let us find a way. Find a way to keep the sport alive. We have to evolve. We cannot remain the same way from
Yeah.
1908 from
So
1908 to 2025.
which mean HP me go on track meet. I mean now go see the 1500 run.
So, all right, let's say they're having a sprint fest. So you'll see from 1 to the 400 meters with the sprint hurdles and all of that. Another meet will have middle long distance fest or
Yes, and
carnival.
guess what? And guess what? Guess what gonna happen when that come? Only
Wow.
the officials are go there at the stadium.
No, 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 no. You have to market it and sell it. Sell it to the people for them to come out. The same way they sell T20 and one day, because I was around. T20 came after my time, so I know because and funny enough, I used to enjoy test cricket, especially when you had people like Shonda Paul and Sarwan and the Bravos and the Brian Lara, Courtney Walsh, Jimmy Adams. Those guys made cricket very interesting, whether it was test or one day.
And all I'm saying to you, if you go that route there, Trust me. At the officials
No, me not like
alone.
oh
Here's
no.
what I'm saying, right? What I
We
was
have to
talking about
evolve.
earlier on was
Yeah.
a track league, right? But
Yes.
track and field league, right?
Yeah.
Professional track and field league where you had teams, right? And each city had a team,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you had eight Caribbean athletes, right? Your city, your country, you had eight out of the eight, you had to have five, and then you have three wild cards. And at any meet, you could bring in a wild card. That comes out of your budget. We're not paying for that, right? And instead of overlapping all of the events and this happening here, it's one event, one screen. One event, one screen. So you're running 100, then we go into the long jump, but each team is competing. And you ain't competing in no little tight up thing with no little half a panty and thing. Because only a few people have them bodies. We putting on regular polos, regular jersey, and a sports jersey because we had to sell them thing. So we get each one of them teams have to have a sponsor for clothing who is backing that team. So we're gonna go to everybody and say, hey, you want a team? You want a team? And it ain't gonna cost them $1 million, right? We go into the airlines and say, hey, Caribbean Airlines, Liat, Jamaica, you're coming in. You take this section, this section, this section. Let's get together because otherwise, forget about it. It's dead.
Exactly. We have to
It
come
dead,
together
dead,
and
dead.
do
Right?
something.
But
Yeah.
if we're not talking about that, and we're not, we keep hearing, well, Jamaica better than this, that, champs, this. Yes, we know. But all they dying too. Y'all dying too,
Yeah.
Well,
right? We
let me
dying here because let me tell you, this weekend at Open Champs, Saturday night, 100 meter, maybe 1,200 people. Maybe. And I'm being generous here. And that includes the athletes and their taxi drivers who stayed. Sunday, less than a
And
thousand.
that's a 100-meter night. The night
Right?
for the 100 meters.
Sunday, you have Jareem, right? And you have Kishon, right? Olympic talent on deck. Less than 1,000 people show up. Why? Because, like I said, the sport is not engaging the fans. We are not engaging the sponsors. We are not engaging the audience in any way, right? One of the officials was saying, but you know what? We have a stream, so nobody ain't had to come here anymore. They could stay home and watch. I said, yeah, but they're not watching the stream either. So what are they watching? They're just not
Just
interested.
not interested. Yeah. Hold that thought, Dennis. Hold that.
Sure.
Let us recognize our fans over here, guys. Thank you very much for being here. Whether you're coming from Africa, Antarctica, Oceanic, Europe, North America, South America, wherever you're tuning in from, thank you for being here. Daniel England is saying that's a great idea, Rastaman. Caribbean Track and Field League. He's agreed with you. And Paul is saying, Voisin is saying, very interesting topic.
Paul
Jamaican
is a vice president of the entries. Paul, big up yourself. Thanks for joining in, bro.
Big up yourself, Paul. Thank you for being here. And Lilith Hodges is also here. Jamaican Olympian is in the building. 1972, 1976, and 1980 Olympian, formerly of St. Mary High School. Fabrens Taylor is saying shout out to TT Game Plan. Indeed, indeed, indeed. And JW is saying stadiums are cramps in Europe for the Diamond League events. 60K plus fans just recently at the Diamond League. And I'm glad he said that because Europe is doing a very good job of promoting the sport within Europe.
but they can't
No,
pay the athletes with
no,
money.
but no, but the fans are coming out. The fans are coming out. Their arrangement with the athletes is a different story, but the fans in Europe, when you switch on your television from across here to watch the Diamond League, you cannot see an empty seat if the Diamond League is in Europe. When it's in North America, and we are the leaders in the sport. When you switch on in North America, empty stadium. Some people are saying, why is it that we don't get more Diamond League this side? The fans not turning out to watch.
But coincidentally, though, the American sponsors are much more active. So that's why they want to have a successful USA Diamond League circuit. Maybe two events, maybe even more in the US because the sponsorship support is there for that level. When you step down a level for and CAA, no sponsors. If you step down a level for meets like the NACAC meet that was in Anson last year, they didn't have nobody. Compare that
I
to
watch a Prefontaine Classic, and
half them seats empty.
majority of those seats
Yeah, yeah,
are
yeah.
empty.
But
No,
what about those two meets, Dennis? There was one in New York, the New York Grand Prix, and there was
Yeah,
one
yeah,
in,
yeah,
and there was one supposed to be in LA.
yeah.
The LA one, did it
that
happen
was
this year? I
canceled.
can't remember. Oh,
It
that
was
was canceled
No,
too.
canceled.
that's the one that was canceled. But in New York, they weren't interested. Remember, they were one of the first people to say, "Nah, we good." But look at something. Look at you all are the sprint capital of the world, right? The If you track back to the 2008 Beijing Olympics and you go forward, all of those gold medals are within maybe about 3 or 4 miles of each other, right? So you can talk about the kind of athletic talent is there. But if you had to measure that and say, am I going to put in a proportionate amount of sport as business investment from the Jamaica economy? Jamaica can't stand up like that. Trinidad can't stand up like that. But you know who did try to do something? Look at the Bahamas. They hosted World Relays for what, 3 years in a row, right? And then they were like, You didn't want it? Well, all right, go ahead, keep it." And then I went to Japan and then bus. And now it's like, yeah, you want to get back again? Because they were invested in it, right? If we look at sport as a business and we look at what cricket is doing, the governments are bidding and outbidding each other to host a CPL event. Whereas before, with the previous to the Cricket West Indies Inc., the owners of the Kensington and the Queen's Park Oval, etc., they had an ownership stake. So they didn't have to bid for any to host an event. They would share revenue, but they didn't have to pay anything up front. Now governments have to pay for it, right? So if you look at the sport as business ecosystem and compare what is happening with CONCACAF football, with Cricket West Indies cricket, international cricket under the banner of CPL, right? Where does track and field have a product that matches that intensity, that investment opportunity, and that audience potential? I have to say, not even 10% of a CPL
Hmm.
audience. I have to say, maybe not even 3% of a World Cup qualifying cycle, like the final cycle that we're entering now. I don't think we could get maybe single digits in that
And why is that? Why is that, Dennis?
because we just don't have it. Track and field is an Olympic sport, and the Olympics have taken over everything. People only want to see the fastest times. If you go and you run a meet and you have the winner running a 10-3 in a men's race, them want to know what it was, a fan that was blowing, they had blowing into them, or what, how come they're running so slow? It doesn't matter who you have. If
Hmm.
you don't have 9 people, sorry, 8 people running 9 seconds, then it doesn't matter what you have. You can't
Hmm.
sell that because nobody's gonna put that winner on their back page of that newspaper that next day,
Hmm.
right? So we have a lot of issues
But
that are
you know what?
not on that. Sorry, let me just close the point. We have a lot of issues that do not show up on the budget statements that are preventing investment from coming in from private sources. And the governments are telling us, hey, whoa, 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 we doing our part. We build the stadium, all you fill it. We put it on the track, all you put the athletes to burn it up. And that's fair. The government of Trinidad and Tobago has spent millions refurbishing the Hazley Crawford Stadium. Right? I could tell you before 2023, I didn't even want to go in there to urinate. Fellas, I would go to this thing. You all would know I'm a photographer. I don't eat before I go to the stadium because I don't want to have to poop. Because I don't want to see that toilet. It might sound gross, but think about it. Why would I want to go into that? You understand? It's that bad. But now all the toilets are flushing. Everything is clean. They clean up all of the pigeon poop from everywhere. It's a really nice place. The stadium is great now. Wonderful. Maintaining that is about $25 million Trinidad and Tobago dollars a year.
We are
After a
not.
while, the government will say, "What the jail boy?
It have
We
Oh,
to pay
are
for
somebody else come
itself.
in now. Gosh, take a little baton now. Come on."
we are not doing a good job of sustaining track and field, because when you look at the people who are going to watch track and field, let us use Jamaica for example. You're seeing the same people who have been watching track and field from the 80s and the 90s. We're not selling the sport to the, and people like us are Gen Z, Gen X, we're Gen X and millennials. Where are the Gen Zs? They're not
They're
coming
watching
into
on
the,
TikTok.
they're either watching on TikTok or doing something else on TikTok. They're not interested in the sport. When you look at when you look at basketball here and the NFL here or the National Football League here, from as small as they can walk, their father is teaching them the sport. That is why the football in America is so popular, because each generation ensure that the generation coming after them learn the sport and know the sport. I used to work at a high school, and when I'm in charge of the study hall and all the children come in with them noise and thing, I used to do this little thing with them and say to them, okay, when you come in, I need each person to stand up and give me a summary of what happened in the football game last night. That's during the football season. The and when you hear those children come in front of the class and talk about the football, the NFL league here, and talk about the players and who did touchdown and who did the next this, and they break it down, and I was in awe, because I was only doing that exercise to get them to stay quiet. And they look forward to it every day. And they come and they would be fighting for the microphone to do commentary of the football match the night before. And I made a joke with them and said, how come you guys, nobody is doing any commentary on track and field? And they turned to me and said, what is that, miss? And they were joking, because it is what they promote here. What you sell, what you promote is what people will buy. What you market is what people will buy. What you expose your children to is what they will adapt to. So if you say to them, let's go out and throw a ball around, that's what they're going to do.
But you see,
So,
okay, so the stakeholders also got to take ownership as well, right? And if it is that we have just the athlete centered stakeholder base, then it's only the athlete that we're serving. We're not serving an audience,
yeah.
right? I'll tell you this. If it's a regular development meet, I can walk around, I can take pictures, it's not a problem. I'm all by myself. There aren't any other photographers, generally speaking. Maybe Wason will come in and do a stream. Yeah, okay. Right? When it's a national meet, all these restrictions come in, all these problems come in. And it's frustrating. Most of the time, I just want to leave because here I am every week doing the same job. But why are you making it harder for me for open champs? Why are you making it harder for me for junior champs? You
Foss knows,
understand?
Foss
But
knows
but
that
just now, the
very
point that
well.
I'm making is this: If I don't have photos, what do these athletes resort to? Their mom in the stands doing something on her little iPhone and she's cool. And they're cool with that, right? But when they put up a photo that's excellent, it bridges from you and your little friend to now it's a product where people could be like, oh, wow, that's great. I could put it on the newspaper, right? Hey, big shout out to Kwame. Thanks for putting in those two photos. I got a photo of Leah was on the 100 meter. She won the 100. That led the sports page, and Jareem, winner of the 200, led the sports page this morning.
Wow.
On Monday morning. No, that was today actually. What am I saying? So my point of it is this: when we are talking about a quality product that jumps the bridge into mainstream, that takes money and investment. And a lot of people in the sport value chain don't have money. And when they do have money, for instance, we hosted the Curfter Games, swimming and track and field, two sports that I cover, not a cent, did not get a single dollar. I ain't toting feelings, I'm just stating facts, right? But
We are
where
we
we at?
we are
Track
we,
alerts, how many people you all have? You all have like 500,000 subs?
we are in trouble, Dennis.
Yes, we
We are
are.
in trouble.
And it's very, very
Deep,
sad.
deep, deep in a hole.
It's very
And
sad.
I remember the days just before COVID that we used to have a track and field meet, invitational meet in almost in 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 maybe close to 10 Caribbean countries. I used to travel to cover most of them. And
Hmm.
now we don't have, we had the Jamaica Invitational last year, we don't have it this year. So the only meet now I think that is left across the Caribbean is maybe only the Racers Grand Prix.
That's
And
it.
it goes to show that
With sun.
yeah, we're in serious trouble. And as I
Hmm.
said, um I would never say track and field is not attractive. I think it's attractive for most part. I think we just need to tweak some things. I think we just need to change some things. But you're not seeing the sponsors, they are not spending the money because most of them, if they don't get to sponsor the premium events or the big events, they tell you straight up that they're not interested. And it's just that. They want their name to be called on certain events. They want their name to be called on the 100 meters and the 400 meters. The 100 and the
Relays.
400, are the two biggest events this side of the world.
And
You
I'm
know,
glad, and I'm glad that you gentlemen said that. 'Cause we're going to segue a little bit, but this discussion we need to continue having it because the fans are leaving the sport. Believe me, the fans are leaving the sport. But Dennis, you had your championship over the weekend. Great Britain had theirs. The United States have theirs. You just mentioned Jerry. He is a character. I met him at the Grand Slam and stuff. So I guess he's on the plane to to Tokyo. I see where Zarnel Hughes did big things for
Yeah.
his country
So is
also.
Leah. Yeah.
Yes, so is Leah. But USA Track and Field Championship this year look a little funny. And I'm not talking about Kenny. We don't get to Kenny yet. It looked a little funny where the numbers looked very low.
Thin.
We were seeing mostly semifinals and finals.
Hmm.
It's
I watched it on a Russian
Russian.
rebroadcast on YouTube.
That's the
And
thing. We could
yeah,
not even understand the commentary.
yeah. The only thing that struck me was, if I didn't know who I was watching, would this be interesting to me?
There you
No,
go.
because
There
I
you
don't speak
go.
Russian. How
There
many
you go.
people speak Russian? You know what
There,
I mean?
there you go. I was watching it myself because I found it very strange that they did not even carry, they did not carry Thursday, they did not carry Friday, which was the 100 meter finals. I think USA
This is on
TF.
Peacock, NBC
It
Peacock.
wasn't
Yeah.
on it. It wasn't on it.
Right, this is what I'm saying.
Right.
That's who has the contract, and
Yeah.
they're not interested because they don't have the money.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. You bid for a championship, and then you're giving fans what you think fans want. It was. I did not enjoy. I did not enjoy. But any surprises, gentlemen, in closing? Any surprises there at the U.S.
I
Championship?
know not to fly with Shakari Richards. I know not to go anywhere with Shakari and no airport.
Well,
Eh,
to be fair
You
to
you
her,
won't be beaten. You won't be beaten, Dennis. Don't worry.
no,
no, no, no.
to be fair to her, we don't know what happened. So I'm not even going to take his side or her side. 'Cause we really don't know what happened. You
But
know,
we can't base our impressions
no, it's
on
not good
what was
enough.
said afterwards.
Well,
Because listening to Christian Coleman, that that young man is so gracious, so humble, and he tried to deflect every single thing. And I'm not a Christian Coleman fan.
but maybe he
I would tell
provoked
you
her.
that.
Suppose he provoked her and she reacted and was out of control.
That's not the information that I heard. But what I'm saying is this, right? I'm not about the gender specific issues. I'm not talking about
Right.
what the man did or what the woman did. I'm talking about the human being called Christian Coleman and how he addressed it and how he spoke and how the sheriff or the marshal who spoke on the record and who made the reports, who was the person on record talking about how he tried to deflect the situation. It spoke to me of a young man who has come full circle about how he treats other people. Because remember, he always was a kind of standoffish, don't ask me nothing kind of thing. But now Christian Coleman is a humble, unassuming, trying to engage fans in a way he used to just run off. Big respect to him. So that stood out to me. What
Yeah.
also stood out to me is that I am a fan and I don't know who won the throws, who won the jumps. I know I saw Tara. Who won the
Tara
men's long jump? I don't know.
Tara won. Yeah, I don't know who
I
won
don't
the
know who won
men's
the
long
men's
jump.
long jump.
Yeah.
And that is a
Um,
premium product in USA track and field.
Yeah.
I can tell you this. I can tell you this, Dennis. And I'm almost like you. I wasn't even checking to see who win the women's long jump, but it just pop up in my face. It just pop up, and it kept popping up, and it
Ah,
kept
you see
popping up,
what happened? Yes.
and and that is why I love the long jump, and I love Tara. I think Tara is for track and field.
Big.
Tara is she's just you know she's a
Hmm.
special talent, and she's just a special person,
Yes.
and
Her
I mean
energy.
her energy, and I just love watching her. I
Mm-hmm.
just love.
Mm-hmm.
I will watch a long jump just to watch Tara. And
Yeah.
I remember in an interview just a couple weeks ago at a Diamond League, and they were asking, "How far do you think you can jump?" And she was like, 8 meters. And then she was like, "Oh, it's a joke, a joke. I'm just kidding." And that's
I
the
think
kind
she
of
really
person.
feels she could jump
Yeah,
it.
and
Why
even
not?
even the other day in an interview, and they were asked, I don't remember the question, but she said, like when she's thinking about something, she think, I'm Tara, not Tiara or Tiara. I'm
Yes. She
Tara,
said
and
Tara.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a dog, and I just love her. I love Noah Lyles, right?
Mm.
And Noah Lyles again with this energy, and I know you spoke about Christian Coleman and how he dealt with his situation off the track. I love her. I love how Noah dealt with his situation on the track.
On the
You know,
yeah, 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 yeah.
Was that
and
intentional though?
it was
I don't
intentional.
think it
I
was
think I think it
intentional.
was intentional, and I think I sent HP a video a couple days ago. Yesterday, I think Dennis, where it showed um of course Noah was in the outside lane, and he kept going wider and wider, and Kenny kept following him. He
Following
kept
him. Yep.
following him. Kenny could have gone the other way. There were enough space for him to go the other way. But
Yeah.
again, in the interview, Kenny said it's really not about what Noah said, But what about Noah did? And he didn't like Noah looking at him that way. And that is what apparently he's saying that's what got him upset.
It's the Wattacks because he couldn't
Right.
even catch him after the race.
I think,
Well, let's end the race.
let
Listen,
me tell
I
you,
love Kenny. I love Kenny. I think who was missing is Fred Curley. I think Fred Curley was the next portion of that little triangle with Kenny, Noah, and Fred. That would have made this thing really, really pump. Unfortunately, whatever personal issues, whatever issues that he couldn't make, no problem at all. I expect that he will be back. I'm not sure if he will still be present in the sport come LA. Um, but I'm really intrigued by the way that whole situation with Noah and Kenny blew up like that, right?
I don't think it
It
was.
seemed intentional, huh?
I don't think it was intentional. And this is something that
But
I've
they might have
always
run
said.
with it.
No, this is something that I've always said. When athletes come across the line, run in your lane all the way around. You have 400 meters. They tend to cross each
Yeah, you go
other. And
around, yeah.
I think what happened was that Kenny realized he was going to bump into Noah. So instead of, he kind of pushed him and it looked, I don't know, that's how I'm saying
No.
it. But
Not with
hold
two
that
hands.
thought.
Not with two hands.
That was like
Hold,
about 20, 30 meters after the
hold that
line.
thought. Hold that thought. Nato Baptiste is saying, big up Dennis and
Hey,
crew.
my brother. Every
Great
Friday
discussion.
morning on Antigua Observer Radio, Nito, Rashid from the Jamaica Observer, and of course, good morning, Jojo Aparicio.
Wow.
We do a show every morning. I'm going to send you the link,
Yes,
HP. You
please.
guys can share that.
Yes, please. You should.
But
Pick
but
up
but
yourself, Nita. Yeah.
but
And
but
one moment. And UVC TV Jamaica is saying good night. Good night to you. Dorothy Scott Genius, Jamaican Olympian 1980 and 84 is saying, hello everyone, watching from my beautiful island, Jamaica. Can't wait
Big
for
up.
tomorrow's independence celebration. And of course, Lily Hodges is there, also another Olympian. Marjorie Paul is also saying hi, hello, welcome. Jerry, what's this? Germany is saying, but local or regionally, when we have big events like Olympics, why can't the regional media come together and send a team of photographers and journalists rather than we doing it alone?
Big
Thank
up
you
yourself,
very much.
Jermaine. That's Jermaine Cruikshank, Express photographer. Big up yourself.
Thank you very much for that, Jermaine. Thank you very much for that. Why can't we come together as a region and put a media team together so that the region can get access to this thing instead of watching other people's coverage where all they're talking about is their athletes, their
Remember,
athletes.
we used
So
to have Kana Reuters, right? Now it's what is it? Caribbean News Agency. I'm not sure what it's called anymore, but it was sold, and yeah, the new owners have no care for investment.
well,
And I
well, I
always
tell
say
you,
this, eh? You don't
the,
have to send me. You don't send me. Send somebody else. Send Jermaine. He real good. Send
yeah, send
Foss. He
somebody,
real good.
yeah,
You
send
know
a
who's the guy
team.
with the cowboy hat from Jamaica? Um, what's his name?
Who is that
Photographer.
Foss?
Tall guy with a cowboy hat.
Who is that Foss?
Belanim,
You know who it is I'm talking about, man.
yeah.
He's always there.
Yeah, we have
Um,
people.
he takes
Bel
he takes everything. He's at
We
yeah,
every
have
sportsman.
competent
yeah, I
people
know.
in the region, and again, we need to come together and save the sport for us. What you guys think about that junior, that 16-year-old that ran 1 minute 42.27 seconds in the 800 meters?
What about
Cooper.
that kid who run what was 10:01?
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
We got some really amazing youngsters coming out.
Yeah.
Um, can they continue that progression
Yeah.
into their adulthood?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But Eugene, if you want to run a fast time, if you want to run a PB, that's the place to run it. Eugene is the place to run it. Of course, we touch on Noah and Kenny. You guys think that it was purpose. I still give Kenny the benefit
Well,
of the doubt. But quickly before we go, though,
Bad
Tokyo
man
is
Fu Kenny.
before we go, it's nice. It was very nice to see my one of my favorite athlete, favorite athlete, one of the nicest person you'll ever meet.
Who is that?
One of the nicest person, and she's a superstar. Shanae Miller Weibo return.
Oh,
Ran on the
wonderful.
weekend
Yes?
at the Bahamas trials. Nice to see her back on the track.
Right.
Didn't get the times I would have
It's
wanted,
good to
maybe she
see
would have
her back.
wanted, but
Yeah.
just to have her back running, Shania Miller Weber, big up yourself. As I said,
Yes.
one of the nicest person. But that's it for me. As to
Yes.
where I have to leave it,
Yes,
HP.
and
But
before
we'll
we go,
definitely.
guys, just quickly, and we're almost done here. Quickly, who will win the women's 400 meters in Tokyo? Who will win the 100 meter? Just give it 2 days, and we're done.
I glad you asked that question, HP, because I was telling somebody the other day, and let me make sure me put the camera good for myself, because I believe that um any event you put my superstar in. If you put her in the 60-meter dash, the 100-meter, the 200-meter, I will bet on her.
So, who you calling for the women's 400? Because
Sydney
it is
McClacken
a totally
Levroni.
different race now. It
Sydney
is.
McClacken Levroni is my pick. Any event at all she decide for running a track and field, me nah bet against her.
Who is your pick, Dennis, for the women's 400?
I like Polito. I like Polito. She's a big game player. She
Yes,
shows up
she
with
is.
all the goods,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Polito. I
Let me
don't
tell
think it's
you,
a walk off
I
win for Sid.
I don't know who to pick, but what I know is that this race is going to be one of the highlights of the championship
No
because
doubt about it.
Sydney adding herself to this event put it at a totally different level now. It's not just Paulino and Nassau anymore, but Sydney is now in this party. What does it mean for the ladies from the Caribbean? If you're not able to run that 400-meter fast from gun to tape, you are off the podium because that is what
Yeah,
it will be.
yeah.
That's
And
what
and
it
and,
will
Because
and
be.
you could put Femke Bowl in that calculation easily too.
Yeah,
So if she ain't there, that just means you move up a spot. That's
yeah,
all it really means.
yeah.
No disrespect to anybody. 400 is a
Yeah,
hard event.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We have to say that. But for the 100 now, who will
Juju
win?
Banton.
Who will win the women's 100 meters?
Juju Banton. One
Your
time.
pick, Anthony. I mean, we're going to come back and have this discussion, but just to wrap up, Anthony, who's your pick for the
I
women?
it is tough. And I say it is tough because we know Jojo running some big times. We know Melissa Jefferson running some big times. We know Jojo is the Olympic champion. But you see, just like how I could always bet on Shelly and say, as long as Shelly turn up at the line, Shelly have a chance. Or as long as you see Shelly, don't bet against Shelly. This time around, I have to bet against Shelly. But I don't know how tough Jojo is. I really don't
I
know
have
how
to agree to
tough
that. I have to
she
agree to
is.
that. I have
If
to agree
she
to
if
that.
she is tough, if she is tough, she's going to win. If she is tough, she's going to win.
This
But
is how.
I can tell you, there is somebody who say, do not write me off. And if she said, don't write me off, and me know the Jamaicans them not have no chances here, me not go write her off.
Listen,
Because you understand? Let me not
how,
say, because
how
Dennis had pointed to it earlier, and I don't want to beat up when me in the mix zone. So
Listen,
I will not.
listen. How I see this race going, I cannot pick a winner because this race is wide open. But what I'll tell you, if the usual suspects make that final, when that gun goes, three women are going to gone first. Shelly Ann will be gone. Tina Clayton will be gone, and Melissa Jefferson will be gone. Little bit behind them will be Julian Alfred if she
And
doesn't get the start. A
and let me
little bit behind that will be Sharika and
and
Shakari.
and what
How it
race
will go, I
what
don't know.
what race you're talking about? You're talking about the heats or the final?
The final, brother. The
Oh,
final, brother. The final.
well,
For see some names
all,
that you call
all
there,
I
you're
will
like,
say,
"Who?"
All I will say,
And
you
this
call
is
some names that
no,
will
hold
not
on.
be in the final.
And this is why, and this, hold on, and this is why I said if the usual suspect, let me tell you, if the three
Mhm.
Jamaican women make that final, along with Juju, Jefferson, Shakari, how many is that?
And
Six?
call Melissa. Well, yeah, you said
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jefferson.
yeah, Melissa. Yeah.
six. That's six. Kalu should
Mhm.
find ourselves there, seven, because we can almost call the final. And that is why I said if the usual suspects, based on form,
And then the
make that.
usual suspects, not all of them on farm.
That's why I said, based on what we've seen so far, when that gun goes, we know that Melissa Jefferson, Shelly Ann, and Tina Clayton will be gone.
Well, put it this way. Put it
Alfred
this
will
way.
be a little bit behind that. Then you have Sharika and
Put
Shakari in that second
put
line.
it
Will
put
they
it
be
this way.
able?
Put it this way, and have it that I said first on this program. Take the relays out. Take the relays out. Jamaica may not win more than one medal on the track.
And I can
I
see
hope
why
you're
you I
wrong,
and I can
but
see
I'm
why you
afraid you're right.
no, I can see why he would say that. When you break down the events, when you break down the women's 100, when you break down the women's 200, when you break down the 400 hurdle is kind of a little open now. Maybe a Jamaican can squeeze in on the podium
You
with
know what? You know what? Let me say this.
in the four hurdles with
Let me say.
Femke
Let me
and
say this though. Let me
Dalila
say this.
Mohammed.
I just want to say this before I close. There are some Jamaicans who really and truly I would love. I would want them to win medals, and one of those person is Akira Nugent. And I think just watching her, I think this girl is determined. I think she love what she do, and you can see a purpose. And I would love for more than anything else that Akira Nugent can be on the podium.
You know what
I
I
would
like about this?
love,
You
love,
know what
love.
I like about this championship, Dennis? Not one of the sprint events is a runaway. Not one. You name me one that is a runaway, and I just click the button now and we're done. Not one. Everybody, and I tell people, I said it last year, and I'm going to say it again this year. The person who is able to lean the best in those two 100 meters is the person who is going to win. And I'm going to also say this, in the women's 100-meter, it's only one female that you have all her boxes checked. She starts well, she drives well, and she finished well. Who is that person? One.
Who?
Melissa
But
Jefferson.
this season, oh, I'm about to say this
Melissa
season. Okay, here's my
She
take.
starts
Right?
well, she drives well, and she is very strong at the finish. No, is catch me if you can, if she put that race
I'll
together.
Here my take. Here my
I'll
take.
have to run, leave your people
All right, brother.
to
Here
get
my take.
somebody
Here
to
my take.
catch me.
We are yet to see Juliana Alfred run a perfect race.
True, true,
Look
true,
at her
true, true,
times.
true, true, true.
So
I agree.
if she gets it all together, we
Hmm.
might see a new world record. That's how I feel.
And
And
that
I think
is what I would love to see, a
yeah.
new world record. And that track is
I
very
think
fast.
that's what's on the line here. I
Yeah.
believe so because they're all running really fast.
Hmm.
And they can push each other and
Yeah.
they all have a high amount of pride and a lot at stake. I think
And they,
Julian has everything to run for.
yeah,
She's well motivated. She
yeah,
already did everything. She's gotten that monkey off her back. I don't know if it ever was there.
yes,
But
yeah.
what I can say is we're yet to see her run her perfect race, and we've already seen her into that 10 6s.
If she get that start, if she
It's
can put
gone.
a start together, she's gone,
That's
gone,
right.
gone.
Yeah.
But my only concern is that she will be chased. She might be chasing women with power.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
my
think
only
that.
concern. That's my only
Yeah,
concern.
Melissa Jefferson
Yeah.
has shown that she has put in the work. You can
Mm-hmm.
see and map out a progression,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
She's not a Johnny come lately kind of thing. She
Mm-hmm.
showed up when it matters, and she's been building a very, very, very solid career.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? People like Titi Terry, and running with Shakari every day, day in and day out. When you see these kinds of athletes and you showing them your back, that builds your confidence in a way that, come on. Alia Hobbs, I'm glad to
She looks
see
good.
her running well again. She also is very capable. I would not count her out of the
You
final.
know who we should not sleep on? That young lady, Kayla White. She
I
reminds me.
also agree with that. I
She,
think she is also an
yes,
excellent talent. I
yes.
do not know if
She
the
reminds
USA can
me
pull
of.
off a podium sweep.
She
I
reminds me
am
of Tori
wondering
Bowl.
who else is going to be on the podium from Team USA. Because if we are looking at Melissa, I think somebody else might take somebody's chicken leg off of the Sunday lunch.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Tina's? I think she also should be mentioned in that
Yes.
conversation as
Mm-hmm.
well. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think Shelly has put together a year that convinced me that she could outrun Father Time. Enough
Mm-hmm.
respect to Shelly,
Yeah.
um, but I don't know if Shelly is going to be comfortable with a seventh or eighth place in a final.
It is going to
So
be
she
a
gonna be
very,
running on the nuclear power of
yes.
bad mindium. She is gonna be out there. I don't think she's gonna be on the podium. But I think she might struggle to make it into the final based on
I
form
I
alone.
would love to see her in that final, but what I know for sure, that final is going to be, for me personally, I think that final is even going to be hotter than the men's final. With the men's final,
Long
yeah,
time.
the men's final, but I think the women's final, you have 4 to 5 women who can win that race.
My prediction is we're gonna see all sub tens in the men and perhaps all sub 11s in the women. I
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Because that
I
track is
think
very fast.
I think if Juju gets it all together at the start and runs a perfect race, it's a new
Gone.
world record. That's
Mhm.
my hope for it. But I think we can look back and back it with the science as well.
Yeah.
All she's missing is consistency in the start. She's
Start.
not a
Yes.
bad starter, but compared to the great starters who would be in that race, yeah. So that's why I would say that no matter how good Shikari gets, she's not going to win that race.
Yeah.
Um, she could run herself into a podium position, but I don't think she's going to be in contention for a gold medal in that race.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Too much off the court.
somebody was saying to me, and when I scan, I tend to agree that a lot of former current champions might lose their spot, might lose their gold medal in the both Olympic champion and world champion
World champion, yeah.
2023, 2024. The men's 100, the women's 100, the men's 200, the women's 200, the women's 400, the 4 hurdles. There are so many, the sprint hurdles.
Yeah,
Let
yeah,
us talk about the sprint hurdles. That's another one. So it
yeah.
is going to be very, very interesting. And I hope that we will be able to get the coverage to watch from start to finish. Watch the prelims, the heats, the semifinal. I'm not just into final. I want to watch. I want to see everything. I want to see how you progress through the rounds. So, but we'll have more of these discussions. But Dennis, thank you very, very
Thanks
much.
for having me. Anytime, just call. I'm here. It's
I
always
know.
a wonderful pleasure to have a conversation with some of the top minds and top personalities in track and field, and that's who you bring. I just want to say shout out to Nito and James and Paul for touching base. I didn't get a chance to send some invitations out because I had to switch off the computer. But thanks a lot for having me. Anytime, here you go.
Indeed, indeed. One Caribbean, baby. And then,
Jalove, that's right.
yes, I just want to thank everybody who turned out tonight. I'll be back here Thursday night with my regular Thursday guests. So thank you guys wherever in the world you are, Africa, Asia, Antarctica, North America, South America, Oceanic Europe, thank you all for being here. And it is all about track and field, the sport that we love very much. Thanks to all the athletes, all the Olympians, all the fans who turn out tonight. Thank you very much. And help us to continue this conversation of being a fan friendly sport. It needs to be a fan friendly sport. So, Dennis, thank you very, very much. And I will
Take
see you
care.
soon. Bye. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Jamaica's track and field legacy is unmatched. It is a story of triumph, resilience, and extraordinary talent. But do you know the stories behind the athletes who brought us glory? Hi, I'm HP, founder of HP Chat Track. My mission is simple: to celebrate the rich legacy of Jamaica track and field and shine a light on the incredible people who make it happen. Winning that race was a dream come true, but the journey wasn't easy. It's not just about medals, it's about inspiring the next generation. Jamaica track and field isn't just a sport, it's our pride, our culture, our heart. Every week I sit down with athletes, coaches and fans to bring you stories of dedication, passion and legacy. Plus, we've got exciting news and exclusive insights into the world of track and field. Make your Thursday night be at HP's place. Come hang out with us at HP Chat Track Studio, where track and field is